Hey everyone, just a quick video about Jack Daniel's, the distillery, Jack Daniel's, the brand. If you've watched my videos for a while, you know that Jack Daniel's is where it all started for me, with the old number 7, up to the Gentleman Jack, working up that whole line of products, and then crossing over into the world of bourbon. And when I was lucky enough to pick this up yesterday, the Jack Daniel's single barrel, this heritage barrel, toasted single barrel, I kind of got to thinking, like, it is just amazing when you think about all the products that Jack Daniel's consistently is putting out. They're just, I mean, they're just hitting on all cylinders. And if you take a step back, and I take a step back to where, even when I started with it, when they had less products, a company like Jack Daniel's, which has been owned by Brown-Forman, I think, since like 1956, they could have just rested on their laurels with the old number 7, which is one of the Tennessee whiskey, the old number 7, the classic black bottle, which I believe is one of the the best selling whiskeys in the world, and they could have been really good just from that. And I remember when that was it, and that's where I started with it. And then when I was I'm trying to think at this point, it was like 1988, I think. And I wasn't even a whiskey drinker at that point. I think I was just barely allowed to drink at that point. But Gentleman Jack came out in 1988, and that was like, wow, Jack Daniel's is coming out with a second product. And old number 7, as with all the Jack Daniel's products, has the Lincoln County process, the charcoal mellowing through 10 feet of sugar maple, which all the products do. And the Gentleman Jack had the unique trait of being mellowed a second time, both at the beginning, prior to being put in the barrel, like the old number 7, and then at the end before being bottled. At this point now, Gentleman Jack is just a little too mellow for me. But the point is, I then went up to that, and I elevated to there. And then the single barrel select, I remember when that came out. The 94 proof also has a rye as well. And I remember, they started coming out with these products. And now, you take a step back, and I kind of look back at this and, like, look at all the products that they've been coming out with, even over, just think about the past few years. You have the Bonded series. And you have the Bonded, which is the classic one, the one that was on the Whiskey Advocate, Whiskey of the Year. You have, of course, the Sinatra, and of course you have the 10-year and the 12-year that I've never been lucky enough to purchase. And I see the prices; it's crazy. All the liqueurs, the American single malts, and this latest up to this latest one right here. And of course, not to forget the barrel proof that at one time was too hot for me, and now I think it's really great. I remember when this came out. The point is like they just not missing. They just don't miss, and just really, it's definitely a company and product to really appreciate, because a company like that could have just they could have just rested on the old number 7, Gentleman Jack, maybe a few products, and they'd be fine. And they just have such an array of products. Even got me to like the not rye guy, but even got me to like the barrel proof ryes, which are really insane. Just so many products. So I think about that, and then I still go back to where it all started, and I'm just amazed. And so we'll choose for this toast. Here's a toast to Jack Daniel's. We're going to toast with the barrel proof, single barrel proof, which is just amazing. Cheers. And on this one, classic banana notes, in addition to vanilla caramel, and definitely some heat hug there. But it's just amazing. So if you're interested or have tried some Jack Daniel's products, there's so much there to really try. Just an endless array of products, and it kind of makes me think like, wow, this is where I really started out as a beginner. And after all the bourbons that I've tried, I still come back to that, and I still have a whole bunch of this on my shelf of different Jack Daniel's products, just a little bit more advanced, with a little bit more to it than the original that I started with, but kind of come back to where I started with, along with the bourbons. Still have these guys on my shelf, as well as this and a bunch of others. So Jack Daniel's, what a brand. Cheers.